What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 10 of the Progress on Purpose podcast. I'm really excited to say that because I started this podcast at the beginning of September and it has just grown beyond my wildest imagination. I sit back and I look at the stats and I'm amazed that so many people have downloaded episodes, listen in each and every week. So first and foremost, I would like to say thank you. If you are an OG listener, you've been listening for a while now, I really appreciate you tuning in each and every week. If you are new and this is your first time listening in, please hit that subscribe button and join me each and every week. I promise to give you content that is catered to you. Obviously, you are here because you are someone who seeks to be intentional about how you think, how you behave towards an intended goal. And that is what this community is about. We believe that what we say, think, and do governs our ability to progress towards our goal and ultimately lead to success. So, in this episode number 10 of the winning season, we are continuing to discuss what it takes to prepare for and walk in your winning season, which is the greatest season of your life. In today's show, this is actually part 2 of Kindra's interview. I interviewed Kindra Wright-Horn, creator and founder of Atlanta's first short hair salon called the Hair Xpress. So if you are just tuning in, please go back to episode number 9 so that you can hear part 1, where Kindra talks about how she developed and got to where she is. One of the things that stuck out to me in that first conversation was when she said, when you become fearless, life becomes limitless. When you become fearless, life becomes limitless. And this was so profound because I'm sure we can all relate to being fearful in one way or another, right? Having something that you are afraid of. And if you're like me, there are times when you think the worst of something. You feel like, okay, if I do this, this is what's going to happen and it's going to be so terrible. Only to find out that in reality, it wasn't even that bad. Like, it really didn't have to take all that energy, all of that worry, all of that frustration, because when the rubber met the road in real life, as I like to say, it wasn't even that bad. So once we become fearless, we take the limits off of what we can do and, more importantly, what God can do. I'm reminded of episode number 3 with Lachelle Salter, where she too talked about being intentionally fearless and going after what we want in life without worrying about what people are going to say or think about us. We left off in part 1 of this interview with Kindra sharing about how she had entered into depression. And this was at the time when it was at the pinnacle of her business. And I'm so sorry. So many people inboxed me and texted me about why I would cut the episode off right then and there. And what I told them was, listen, you're just going to have to tune into part 2. So without further delay, grab your napkins, turn up your headphones, and tune in for part 2 of this episode, Cut Out the Fear with Kindra Wright-Horn.
So many different things that I learned and having that place for 12 years, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about people. I grew spiritually. I also grew into depression. That's what people didn't know. My last 2 years of being in New Jersey, I at this point now I did marry my children's father, and then we got divorced, and then I remarried. And so I'm still married. I've been married now 11 years. Met my husband when I moved back to New Jersey and opened up my shop. But um, I was depressed. I was depressed. I can look at it now and I can say it now. I was depressed and I didn't understand what was happening to me. I was secretly looking for new locations. I was searching for something. I always wanted to get my own place when I moved back because I knew I was different. I knew that my environment for 4 years in Maryland, I've been around different people. Those girls were business women. When I left, they were closing on $1 million homes for themselves. So
Wow.
I had been around a different type of people.
Yeah.
I wasn't the go out and party person anymore. I was more like, I'm bigger than that.
Yeah.
I picked and choose a lot of things that I did. And
Hmm.
so I knew I had to have my own when I did come back to New Jersey. But after being there for the time that I was there, I started getting bored. I didn't know that a part of my depression was boredom.
Mm.
And I actually had, I think I was the first person to actually have a commercial on Comcast
Wow.
on the nights of Love and Hip Hop on Monday nights, VH1. My commercial ran for Jalamati's on VH1, Channel 12 News, and BET. Did a lot of stuff to promote my business, and I did. I saw the fruits of my labor. I did well,
Hmm.
but I was depressed. I wasn't happy, and a part of me not being happy was that I started feeling stuck.
Mm.
Started feeling stuck, and I was very angry with the space that I was in. Wasn't mad at anybody in particular, but I was the person that everybody was looking up to for the answers, and then I didn't have anybody to get an answer from.
Mm.
So what I started doing was, thank God for Instagram. Instagram opened my eyes up. I was never like a Facebook person. I always had a presence on Facebook, but not nothing major. I just had a Facebook page. But Instagram opened me up. It allowed me to see things and to see other people. And I started following Naja from like the River Salon in Atlanta. Started following the Cut Life. Started paying attention to getting back into paying attention to other stylists who were doing things on a bigger level.
Right.
And my attention was drawn to Atlanta always. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Tell us why.
Hmm.
Like when you
I'm a.
decided to go to when you decided to set up the Short Hair Express in Atlanta,
Mm,
why did you choose Atlanta? Why not Maryland? Why not Jersey?
okay. So the first thing that happened for me is like I started following Naja like the river,
Hmm.
and I went to her class maybe 5 years ago. She had a class in Atlanta. And I said, you know what? I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. This lady, I don't know what she's doing, but she was waving. She was doing the soft waves. And I was like, what is this? I know how to do waves. I was doing it. I was doing everything that she was doing, I was doing. And everybody's like, oh, you're going to pay $560 for this lady, excuse me, to show you something that you already know how to do. And I'm like, something else about this person, something else about her.
There's
I
that
just need to
investment.
get there. I had to get there. I said, I'm going to invest. I'm going to do
Yes.
this. And so my husband said, well, you know what? I'm going to pay for your class. Let's go.
Shout out to the husbands that
Okay.
believe in the investments and
Shout
believe
out.
in what we are trying to do. I love that.
Shout out. Okay. And so I got down into that class and I was so excited. I was so excited. Got there, sat down. Class started at 9 o'clock. She came out. She was like, it was so weird and it was so real. Oh my God. And she came out. It was almost like Michael Jackson came out. It was 8:58. She said, what time is it? Somebody said, and when she asked that at that time, it was 8:59. She said, first lesson, be on time.
Mm.
Okay. Because class started at 9 o'clock.
Right.
And I was like, okay, all right. Then the second thing she said was, I'm so happy to see that we have 52 people in attendance today. Okay, so the next thing that happened for me, I pulled my calculator out.
Hmm. Hmm.
I said, excuse me?
Right.
So we're going to make $30,000 from 9 to 3? Is that what we're doing today?
That's today's lesson. That's the first lesson.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. So already the class hadn't even gone into motion, and she dropped 2 jewels on me.
Yeah.
I was wide awake. I was at full attention, and when I tell you this short hair boot camp was amazing, It was amazing. You know why it was amazing? Because she told me about myself, not directly, but she got my ass straight. Excuse my language. When I tell you, she was so raw. She was so honest about where the black hairstylists were going wrong, what we
Mm.
need to do, where we need to step our game up at. It was so many things that she dropped. I walked out of there and I was not the same. I was not the same. I wasn't the same. I went back home, and that was in November, and I was not the same. In May 2015 or 16, I did my first class at the salon. I
Mm.
did a soft wave and a hair cutting. That inspired me to have a class.
Nice.
And so I did that, but again, I still wasn't satisfied. And so I started saying something is wrong here. There's a different energy in other places that is no longer here in New Jersey.
Come on and talk about it.
Something is wrong. And what I found was wrong was that I come from a place or where I didn't know that everybody wants to feel like they know everything.
Mm.
They're too prideful to go and get more information. In the industry that is a $1 billion industry, it's always changing. There's so many things to learn. Why are we afraid to learn this? Because I come from a place where people are so prideful
Mm.
that if I'm not doing what you're doing, then I'm wrong. There's something wrong with me. If I do something and I step out the box and it looks like I'm shining, we're going to frown upon that because who do you think you are? You think you're better than everybody.
Mm. Hmm.
And there's always been a cloud over New Jersey. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Newark. There's this cloud. There's this very, very dark cloud that people don't talk about. They don't understand it. They don't know why they're so stuck. They don't know why they can't move forward. It's a cloud, and the cloud is you better not grow beyond me,
Hmm.
or we will not support you.
Hmm. If you are listening to this right now and you can agree with what Kendra is saying, please, please, please leave us a comment on Instagram, on both of our Instagram pages, and I'll share all that information in the show notes. But if you, particularly if you're from New Jersey or if you know the area, we want to hear like how you feel about what is saying, because I definitely have my opinions as well. And I can even share them. I agree. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I agree. There is a prideful, just like a cloud over New Jersey that
Mm-hmm.
is just very interesting, and you don't see that
Mm-hmm.
when you go to these other places like
Nope.
Atlanta, like
No.
even like Baltimore, where
Mm-hmm.
it's just a little different. There's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more,
People are more transparent.
yes, transparency, camaraderie, support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is real true.
It's very true, and I don't know. Didn't start with us.
Mm,
Started with another generation before us.
mm,
Something happened to Newark, and I can only speak on Newark because that's where I was born and raised.
yeah.
That's where most of my foundation came from, and I just even sitting here telling the story, I could see how things changed so much, and that for me now I'm really depressed because how in the world am I going to fix this for myself? Then I thought about going downtown Newark and opening up a business because now Newark is, it's the Renaissance city and they're redoing Newark and, all these great things are coming downtown Newark. And it came to me, Kendra, you have a host of short hair clients. You love doing short hair.
Mm-hmm.
God gave me Short Hair Express.
Mm. And this was in 2016.
This is 2016. And I was like, wow, okay, all right, God, what is this? And that name was so powerful. It was something that was so dear to me. I didn't understand it, and God said, that's it, Short Hair Express." And I was originally going to try to open up downtown because my idea was to get the clients from downtown, the business women, Through my experience in 26 years of doing hair, you know, there's a lot of women that wear short hair. There's a lot of women who are going to go short.
Yep.
People want to be in and out of the salon. They don't want to be there all day. They want to pop
Amen.
in. They want to get their hair cut, and they want to roll out.
Yes.
And they need to be together because they business women, and short hair needs to look good all the time. And if you can give a good cut, people will always come back.
Yes.
They might even wrap their own hair at home. I had this whole concept.
You thought it through.
Thought it through. Had a client who was a lawyer. Shout out to Aaliyah. Um, talked to her. Talked to a couple of lawyers. I gave them my ideas of what I wanted to do, and I started a page, Sure Hair Express. A lot of people don't even know. I never put my face on it. I never put my name on it. I just wanted to see what the reaction was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I am going through a depression.
Mm.
I can't figure out what it is that I need to do. I came down to Atlanta a couple of times prior to me even thinking about moving. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? The last time that I came before I moved, I came down for a wedding, which was in 2017. And I sat outside the night before the wedding with 20 other people. And we sat outside to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning at a restaurant. And I said, nope. You know what, God? I am not supposed to be in New Jersey.
Mm.
This is where I'm supposed to be. I felt very comfortable. I felt very open. And I felt a sense of freedom. I felt a sense of opportunity. I felt something that I couldn't even explain what I was feeling. That was in June 2017. October 2017, I moved.
Wow.
Why Atlanta? Because Atlanta is the hair capital.
Mm.
Why Atlanta? Because I studied a lot of these pages and I watched and I watched. And it goes back to what I said originally, even coming across um, just the words of, what did I tell you? I want to make sure that I say it right. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had to do was I had to shake the fear of being successful. Why not? Why not? Why can't I have success? Why am I afraid of success?
Talk about that right
Because
there.
because I grew up in a place where people were afraid to show their skills, their talents, whatever it was. But I had been exposed all my life. I've been exposed. What was I afraid of?
Yeah.
What was I afraid of? God had been with me all this time.
And
What am I afraid
prepared
of?
you. He prepared you for all this time.
He prepared me. He gave me a short term move away from home, which was being in Baltimore for 4 years. That was short term, and it was close because I was still able to come back to New Jersey,
Mm.
but far enough to experience being away and being able to survive, to make it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, he exposed me. He prepared me, and I said, you know what, Lord, if you did it for me at 1095 Stuyvesant, I know that you're going to do it for me in Atlanta. But now I'm going down here and I got a whole lot of experience up under my belt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going down with a whole nother idea of doing business, a whole nother idea of branding myself. Because at this time now I have been studying people, something that people won't do. And you have to take the time out. You have to give credit where credit is due. You have to know when to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to not be afraid to face yourself, because a lot of times it's self-adjustment.
Yes.
A lot of times it's checking yourself. I hadn't always been right. I hadn't always made the best decisions. My intentions was to make good decisions, but I wasn't always right. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't always get it right. And I had to be willing to make those changes.
Mm.
Coming here, couldn't do it the same way. When I tell you, when you see me on Facebook saying that, baby, this was a process.
Mm.
I'm still in the process. I'm at a better position on the process, but I had to come down here and detox. So that was another part of the journey. In order for me to do something different, I had to be different. And so what I know for a fact is that people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to be transparent. They're afraid to face themselves. And with all my experiences, God has allowed me to see that facing myself was not the worst thing.
Hmm.
Being here, I've never been in a place where Black owned business is a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It has given me a sense of pride for myself. I've never experienced that. That is a big thing to be a Black business owner. That's huge. We got a lot of businesses in New Jersey, but people patronize who they want to patronize. They never say, is it Black owned?
Mm.
So when I decided to go, it was the best decision that I could have made for myself. It was the best decision that I could have made for my children. Um, I wanted them to experience something different. Um, this was one of the best things that I could have possibly done. Not only that, God still had a plan for me, and I knew that I needed to see what that plan was. And Short Hair Express was a part of the plan. When I got here, when I tell you every day I ate, I slept, I drank, I dreamed Short Hair Express, Short Hair Express, Short Hair Express. And
I'm just gonna say it's so evident because when you look at what you have produced in such a short amount of time, Kendra. I know
mhm,
to you it may have seemed like so long, but we're talking about a span of. I know you launched this year. You
mhm,
did the opening this year, but the
mhm,
launching and the birthing of it all took place back in 2017, right, or
mhm.
2016.
16. Mhm.
2016. So, but even 3 years. Like, look at that.
Mhm. Mhm. Let me tell you something. Um, and I tell people this all the time. They say, "How did you do that?" Being faithful,
Hmm.
standing firm on what I believed in, not letting people talk me out of who I am, what was meant for me, what God said to me. I've allowed people to do that to me a lot in my past, and thank God that God still believed in me, and He knew that I had something in me that I can handle this. That He didn't just leave me. He didn't just keep me stuck. He didn't keep me depressed. Um, but I've allowed people to tell me what my limit was.
Hmm.
And there is no limit.
Nope.
When you come to Atlanta, it's not the answer for everybody. But this place has shown me it is limitless. What I want is limitless. Not only that, God has used me to show other people that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done. Your story may not be my story, but guess what? It can be done. I came down here, I didn't have not one client, not one, but I showed up. When
Mm.
I had one, I showed up, I showed out. I promoted, I treated people fair, I prayed. Um, then I decided to do something that I thought about doing in New Jersey, but I know I would not have done it. Um, Once I decided not to come back and forth to New Jersey anymore, that was July 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nope, I can't come back and forth because you know what? God said, you moved.
Hmm.
Can't keep coming back and forth up here. When are you going to build a clientele down there? I gave you Short Hair Express. Either you want it or you don't.
Hmm.
I said, okay, now what I'm going to do? Because I got a lot of time on my hands. I'm building a clientele up. I can't be out spending money. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm building clientele up.
Mm-hmm.
I enrolled in school to get my educator's license.
Mm.
God, what are you doing? Why am I at this school? What is this?
Hmm.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm getting ready to graduate in about maybe 2 weeks.
Whoop whoop.
The best thing that I could have ever did because it took me again to another plateau. Because the other part to this is that I had such a story to tell people, and personal development is definitely one of my babies that I love to talk about. And it's basically just kind of getting you together before you can get anybody else together. Before you can do anything, you got to make sure that you're right. A
Yeah.
lot of times we put ourselves on the back burner, but you got to be right. You got to be comfortable with who you are and what you're doing.
Yep.
And so I learned that in this year that I've been there. And like I said, I started out with no clients down here. Um, Showed up, showed out, promoted. Every time I did something, I made sure I showed it off.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure that I maintained a level of professionalism. Probably, whew, probably sometime in December, January, to be honest, maybe before that time, I had become overwhelmed with clients.
Mm.
I was getting emails, I was getting text messages, I was getting voicemails. I couldn't even answer them. I didn't even have Short Express open yet. I was Short Hair Express, but I didn't even know the way I had been promoting it that Short Express it was already in existence.
Wow.
People thought that it had a location already.
Mm.
So the buzz in Atlanta was getting really big. I actually had a stylist working with me inside of the barbershop that I was working in before I even had Short Express.
Wow. But even that is remarkable because you were able to put together and brand yourself in a way where people came to you, desired to come seek you out because of everything
Hmm.
that you were putting out, and not you weren't just putting out the physical things. You were putting out your intentions into the
Hmm.
atmosphere, and people were responding to that. I think
Hmm.
that's remarkable.
Yeah, and man, I'm telling you, this thing just is it's just been a blessing all the way around. Even for me to be able to end up with a location. Originally, I was gonna partner up with one of the barbers with E. Shout out to Everett.
Shout out to Everett.
Okay, what a blessing, what a godsend. Thank you, God. Him and his wife. I'm telling you.
You're referring to Everett from Cut Creators
Yes,
in
yes,
Newark?
yes, yes. Yep,
Shout out to
yep,
Everett.
yep.
And the
Infinity
entire
Grooming
Cut
Law.
Creators family.
Yes, thank God for them because I failed to mention that when I did come here, that's where I worked. I worked at at Cut Creators first. And I was there for a short time. I was there from October 17 to January 2019.
Oh, wow.
And then he opened up his own spot, Everett, and I went and worked with him. Um, I went and worked with him from January, February 2019. We started and did his grand opening in April in the location that I'm in now. And then did my grand opening this August in the same location because he was blessed to move next door. So that's how I was able
Wow.
to open up my spot because the salon that was next to us when we first came, they left.
Mm. Hmm.
So God has been so good.
Yes.
He has been so good. So yeah, shout out to E for allowing me to take on that opportunity and uh I was ready. I
Yeah.
was ready.
Yeah.
I was
I
ready.
think so.
I was ready.
I
I
think
was ready. I
so.
was busting out the door. I was ready.
Yes. And so, wait, I have a question for you. And I know we're getting
Mhm.
towards the end of our conversation, which I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it could easily be a part two. And
Mhm.
yes, that book is in you because you have so much wisdom, so much wealth. Like, oh my
Mhm.
God, Kendra, the experience that you have, everything that God brought you through, it has given you wisdom beyond just like being a salon owner. Like you can help
Mhm.
people in their personal
Mhm.
development and in their how you think. Like it may not seem like anything to you, but how you see things and how you think about things and are intentional about like thinking the process through, even how you decided to go to school or not go to school or whatever,
Mhm.
that does not come naturally. Those are god given things that
Mhm.
you chose to tap into. A lot of people or some people even have it, but they choose not to tap into it. A lot of us
Mhm.
are very like stuck, like you said, or they decide to stay stuck. But that was
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I know God gave me this platform because I want to be able to pull out people like you to encourage others
Mm-hmm.
when they're in their stuck place, when they're in their place of they having a great idea but not knowing what to do next, having even having money but not knowing
Mm-hmm.
how to use it wisely, invest wisely, because that's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but how? My question for you is, how do you measure success? Like, how did you decide, okay, this is a success? Or how do you look at what you have done and say, or do you look at what you've done and say, this is success? Or what is your measurement tool?
Um, Success can be looked at in so many different ways. It just depends on who's looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, success to me is being able to exist, survive, and to be able to conquer some things. Could be small or tall, successfully.
Mm-hmm.
For me, success is survival.
Mm.
When I come home, I successfully made it home. I
Mm-hmm.
survived this day.
Mm-hmm.
That's success for me. Um, I don't necessarily look at success as when people have money,
Mm-hmm.
that's financial success.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's like a whole nother subject. But you have some people who really successfully do not make it through the day.
Hmm.
So for me, I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day. My days when I make it home to my family, I successfully made it home in one piece with a sane mind. Because another thing that I learned is that I did not have the peace that I have right now. I had all the clients, I had all the money. I mean, I could do anywhere from 19 to 26 people on a Friday.
Wow.
Some people, that's success.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've always been a hard worker, so that wasn't a big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, success is surviving the day. I've learned that sometimes we put too much on ourselves. I've learned that you do have to have short-term goals, and then those short-term goals should lead up to your long-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
And that a lot of times as Black people, we are very hard on ourselves. We compare ourselves to other people. And so that is something that, we have to learn how to successfully be happy with who we are
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
work
good.
towards having a successful day tomorrow.
That's really, really good. That is really, really good. So, what are you intentional about in this season now that Short Hair Express is open and you are successfully launched on, and you have such an impression on social media? You not only that, but you are an example to so many people. And so, what now that you have this platform, what are you intentional about in this season?
Hmm. I got a couple of things. The main thing is to inspire people
Mm-hmm.
to just be better every day, to not compare themselves to other people, that to understand that you walk in your own purpose. That is my main thing, is to make sure that you understand your story is your story. What God's purpose is for you is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't compare ourselves to someone else's story, but we can definitely take a lot from it.
Mm-hmm.
My intentions with Short Hair Express, business wise, is that I see myself opening up maybe two or three more Short Hair Expresses. Definitely another one here in Georgia, and then the other two will be out of state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to show stylists that there's a lot of money in short hair, that
Mm-hmm.
if you enjoy hair cutting, you don't have to always do everything to make money, that you can make the money in short hair. And also, I want to open up an advanced academy, which will be Short Hair Express Academy.
Yes.
Um,
Go on and teach the
so
people.
Yeah, so part of me also, what I learned was me getting my instructor license is that in order for me to open up a school, I need to have my instructor license.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like there are so many talented stylists out here, cosmetologists, but they don't have direction. I've watched people leave the schools and just kind of be lost. That you're not really in school long enough. Although, people say, oh, you had to do 1,500 hours. That's a long time. It is, but it's not. Now you need to intern.
Yeah.
Now you need to really know this business. And you really need to know yourself because that personal development is necessary.
I was just gonna
It,
ask, are you gonna include personal
oh,
development in your academy?
absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. I definitely know that I'm a motivator
Yeah.
and I want to continue to work on my motivational skills. I
Mm-hmm.
want to I want to motivate people and let them know that hey, you can have a good life. We don't have to have all these sad stories all the time. We don't have to be stuck. We don't have to do that. I actually took a class with Toastmasters. I had never heard of Toastmasters
Mm-hmm.
before, and that was amazing. That was really amazing. And so I'm my intentions is to be a better motivator, to be always to inspire and be a great role model because I do know that people are watching me. I'm always getting inboxes where people are just like, wow, thank you for this, thank you for that. So, one thing I do know that God is moving through me, He's working through me, He's
Mm-hmm.
using me, and I want to make sure that my platform is being used properly.
Mm-hmm.
I have some amazing stylists with me right now who are just as hungry as I am. They are super talented. Just the mere fact of being able to feed other three other people,
Mm-hmm.
it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing off of something that I mean, I worked hard for it, but I did not know that it was going to go like this.
Mm-hmm.
So my intentions is just to get this short hair express to another level, and to take myself to another level so that I can help other people go to another level in life.
I love that. I really,
Hmm.
really do, and I'm gonna be praying that that happens for you because so many
Hmm.
people need to um, hear what you have to say. Outside of your talent, you are put here for a purpose, and
Hmm.
it's coming. I mean, it's oozing out of you. It really, really is. I'm excited that you were able to join me on this podcast today. And as people listen, as people hear, they're going to get to hear another side of you
Hmm.
and hear the backstory behind why you are doing what you do, what you intentionally have decided to do, and the reason why, like your backstory. So
Hmm.
you have a pop quiz. All right.
Okay.
And so the first question is in 3 words or less, describe growth.
Woo. Oh my God. Go to the next question.
Okay, we're going to circle back around that one. And you may have already talked about this already, and you just let me know if you did, but what does progress look like for you?
um, Progress looks very good for me. Um, Progress is definitely just seeing where I've come from,
Mm-hmm.
my family background, my experiences, and where I am right now, and where God is taking me. That's what progress looks like for me, and I'm so thankful for the progress. But definitely, if I can look back, and you definitely took me back, I went back. This is progress. This is
Yes.
progress. This is definitely progress.
Make sure you share this with your childhood friends and the
Oh yeah.
all of the people that you mentioned because
Hmm.
I know it's like this platform it can take you back, and so now you can say, listen, I talked about you. I talked about this. Listen to this. I think this is a great episode as well. All right. So before we get back to the first question, the third question I have for you is, what is one thing people can do to live an intentional, purposeful life starting today?
Express more gratitude.
I literally wrote that down Like, I was going to say, don't say gratitude, because I was like, that's exactly what you had talked about the entire time. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down and it's sitting here boxed in right now.
Wow.
That is literally the essence of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. You're grateful. And
Mm-hmm.
so for you to say, express gratitude, it's literally the core of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Express more gratitude. How has, and I know people have already probably heard this in what you said, but how has expressing gratitude been in, how has it been influential in your life?
What I learned is that the more gratitude that I express, I actually attract more positivity to my life.
Mm,
Um, it's a humbling thing. People aren't humble enough, and 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 I've learned to be very humble the older I've gotten, and just very grateful. Just
mm-hmm,
grateful because I know, I didn't get a chance to speak on a lot of different things, but there's another side of my family that is not very pretty.
mm,
And so I am definitely one to have learned to speak positivity over my life
mm-hmm,
and to make sure that I express the gratitude of being grateful because I know where I could be,
mm,
but that's not where I'm at. And so when I talk to people, they kind of get upset. Some people, not everyone, but I'm a very optimistic person.
mm-hmm,
I'm not the person that's going to be like, oh, that's not going to work.
mm-hmm,
I'm like, well, maybe let's look at it this way. Let's
mm-hmm,
do this. Let's do that. Because I just know that, when you put those type of things into the universe, you shut people down.
mm-hmm,
But if you put something out and says that maybe possibly,
mm-hmm,
maybe just a little bit of hope of something different, it changes the attitude, it changes the atmosphere. It makes people feel more comfortable.
mm-hmm.
And things can go either left or they can go right.
But
But
at
if
least
you
now we can think about the possibility.
exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep, exactly.
So the other question was, in 3 words or less, describe growth.
Oh, growth is expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Growth is a state of mind.
Mm,
um, and growth is developmental.
love it. Please,
Hmm.
Kendra, tell everyone how they can find you on Instagram. Let us know about any products or services that you have. I'm definitely going to link them below in the show notes, but please let us know how we can find you on Instagram, Facebook, and also if you have anything coming up, any events, platforms that you're going to be speaking on, things that you're going to be doing, let us know how we can get in contact with you. If you're listening and you are in Atlanta or you are in or traveling to Atlanta, now you have a spot to go to. So let us know where we can find you on social media
Okay.
and in real life.
Okay, so on social media, you can find me at Sure Hair Express, and Express is spelled without an E, so it's X Press.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me there, the same handle on Facebook. You can also find my personal page, which is Hair by Kindra, if you want to just see some of my work by itself without the salon included. It's Hair by Kindra, KINDRAH_SHX. Right now, we're just still new at the salon, so we don't have any really big events happening, but we did just have the Chop Mob, which has a big, huge presence on social media, especially on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
which features a lot of salons. And we were chosen to come for them to come and actually have an experience at the salon. And so that was exciting. So they're actually going to film. They have a YouTube channel, and they came in and they filmed their experience at Sure Hair Express. So I'll definitely keep you posted on that when people can actually go and watch that. I hope that that's going to happen. Hopefully, it'll happen the same day. Oh God. So anyway, that was exciting. But we are getting ready to launch our express services for the holiday. So that's the biggest thing that's getting ready to happen. So what this is about is that clients will be able to come in and book appointments at 6 a.m., between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m., up until 10 a.m., where they would just only come in for a shampoo and style. We are guaranteeing to get you out within an hour and 15 minutes,
Wow.
because people are going to be doing their holiday shopping. They
Mm-hmm.
do not want to spend their day in the salon. And so, with that, we will also be offering express makeup services along with some snacks, some mimosas, and coffee, and, just some cute things for the morning. So, I'm excited about that. That's going to happen on Saturdays. Also, we do have gift cards that are coming for the holidays. So if you are interested in getting someone a gift card because they've been talking about getting their hair done, they want to get it cut, they visited our page and they just can't wait to get an appointment, please come by and get a gift card from us. We'll have those by next week. And what else? We're just, I'm just looking. I know, and I'm speaking this into existence, but I'm going to outgrow this space that I'm in already.
That's right.
So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you. We're excited for you.
Yes, 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 yes. Yep.
Well, Kendra, thank you so much for
Mhm.
being on this show. Really, really, truly dropped some gems today. I know that everyone who is listening is truly going to be inspired to not just have dreams, but to pursue those dreams, and also to look at their life story, because that's the one thing that I gathered, one of the things rather that I gathered from listening to you. Your life story painted a picture that led you to this moment. And so if we think about, and maybe this can be the pop tip of the week, so listen in. Think about your life story, maybe even write it down. But think about the different milestones, the experiences, and even the images that come to mind when you think about your life, and how they paint a picture for what your ultimate passion is or what your purpose is, and how you can tie those things together to make them work for you. I truly believe that you can make the most money when you are happy doing the very things that you like to do. And if you are not in a place where you're doing the things that don't please you, take a look at your life and see, hey, what could I do differently? Kendra is a great example of looking at the different places and positions that she was placed in by God and the people that were around her. And she took all of that experience and then created her own. And when she created her own, she broke barriers and broke ceilings because she did something that had never been done before, and at a level that had never been done before, and is even going higher. So Kendra, thank you so much for the inspiration, for the wisdom, and just sharing your story. Like, you poured out your heart today. Really appreciate you for that. And we will be sure to continue to follow you on Instagram. Guys, listen, if you are listening on your phone, or if you're not, go get your phone, follow Short Hair Express. I will link that below in the show notes. But connect with Kendra. Tell her how you feel about this episode. And if you are in Atlanta, find yourself at her salon. But you got to book an appointment, because as you can hear, it goes down. And I know when I go to Atlanta, when I book my flight, I'm going to make sure at the same time I book my flight, I'm going to book my appointment so that I can get my hair done, because I am all about that short haircut life. All right. Thank you so much, Kendra. We will be sure to keep in contact with you, and we appreciate you so, so, so very much.
Oh, thank you so much. This was wonderful.
All right. Take care, guys.